Hello and welcome back to another edition of Raw out of 10 right here on the Wrestle Debate. Bit of a crazy Raw this week. It's all the fallout from SummerSlam. It's the go-home show for Payback. So yeah, slightly weird, but let's get straight into it. McIntyre kicked off the show to celebrate his title defence from last night against Randy Orton. He said Orton was at his best during SummerSlam. Drew was that much better than him. He added that Randy called himself the greatest wrestler ever, but now he's beaten him, he's the greatest wrestler ever. Then Randy came out and attacked Drew and would be ready for Orton. Backstage, Randy then punted him twice and McIntyre got up. I'm not going to grade this segment because it was a little bit later on, but a decent start to Raw in my opinion. Jax was then arguing with Shayna Baszler backstage before we got Shayna versus Bayley. Nia came out before the match. Bayley started off strong but was shut down by Baszler, who dropped her with a right hook. She then was sent outside and Nia Jax started to get involved attacking her. Jax slammed her on the apron before the Golden role models were cheering her. Jax turned to Banks and Bayley and then Baszler joined her as they stared down the women's tag champs. 5.75 out of 10. This literally made no sense. Kevin Owens then hosted the KO show with Aleister Black. Aleister Black was wearing an eye patch after getting beaten up by Rollins and Murphy the other week. Owens said he was disgusted by Rollins' disciples before Black pretended to fall off his chair. KO went to check on him before he hit a black mass out of nowhere, and now he's a dastardly diddler. Wow, was not expecting this. 7 out of 10. Really looking forward to seeing where the Aleister Black character goes. Bayley and Sasha then vowed to face Nia and Shayna before we got a four-way for the 24/7 championship between Benjamin, Truth, Tozawa and Alexander. Benjamin attacked Tozawa first and Alexander took him out of the ring. Cedric was sent outside and attacking the champs. Then they ran outside for a bit. The finish came when Tozawa pinned R-Truth after Benjamin hit a move. R-Truth, Alexander then broke it up before Tozawa then got on top and became new 24/7 champion. 5.5 out of 10. This is just such a waste of talent for such great guys. Randy Orton was then out next on Raw and said that he failed to keep up with the promise of beating McIntyre. He reminded us of how he took down Edge, Christian and Flair. He was then interrupted by Keith Lee, wow, making his Raw debut. Lee greeted Orton before very eloquently challenging him to a fight. Randy looked like he was going to do it, but then said maybe later. 7 out of 10. Great way to introduce Keith Lee going after Randy Orton. He looks great. Stage on Raw, Zelina Vega denied poisoning Montez Ford while Angel Garza was still flirting. Before we got onto Garza v Ford, Ford was dominating the match and started by hitting with a dropkick in midair. Angel hit the knee strike in the corner and Ivor walked down to the ring and took Demi Burnett away from her. Garza was furious. And Ford was caught on the top rope before he hit a big frog splash for the win. I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10. This was just a nothing match really, and I'm kind of interested to see what happens at Payback. Shayna and Nia argued again, I can't keep up. Liv Morgan and Ruby Wright ran into Bianca Belair, and they're going to face Vega and the Iconics. We went straight into that match. Morgan and Kay started us off. Royce was tagged in early, followed by Ruby Riott. Kay was back in for a double team and a near fall before they took Wright to the corner and tagged in Vega. Belair tagged in and cleared ringside before taking the fight to Vega in the ring. Belair almost had the win, but the Iconics broke the pin. The Riot Squad took out the Iconics for the victory and got the kiss of death for the win. 6 out of 10 for me. I just don't really know what to say on this one. It's just going back and forth really. Henry was then getting ready for hosting the arm wrestling contest. MVP made another offer to Alexander to join the Hurt Business. He then called out Bobby Lashley and Apollo Crews, Mark Henry this is, in the ring for the arm wrestling contest. Lashley had a false start before Apollo stepped on Lashley's foot and got the win. Lashley tried to attack Crews, but Apollo took him out. Rey Mysterio was then backstage on WWE Raw saying how proud he was. Then Lana and Natalya came out for the shortest segment ever, saying she was going to retire Mickie James. Mickie James then just came down and beat them up. I'm not going to grade any of these segments. They were all quite short and nothing segments really, so I just thought I'd cover them all in one. Keith Lee then started off strong against Randy Orton and was impressive early on before he took a belly-to-belly suplex. Lee was sent into the ring post before Orton stomped in his hand to slow him down. Lee sent Orton outside the ring. Randy looked for the RKO, but Drew McIntyre dragged him out of the ring. Orton then took off after taking a few shots from Drew McIntyre. Backstage on Raw, Randy Orton attacked Drew and hit a punt kick, the third of the night. After the break, we learnt McIntyre might be seriously injured and he went to the local medical facility. 5.5 out of 10. Why is the babyface interrupting this? And why debut Keith Lee when it's not really about him? Bit strange. Then it was the lumberjack match for the Raw Women's title between Asuka and Sasha. Asuka was dominating early on and sent Sasha outside straight away. Bayley watched her back and stopped everyone from attacking her. Back on Raw after the break, Asuka hit a big kick and she was sent outside. The superstars outside helped Asuka up before Banks hit a dive and hit the Riot Squad. Asuka went after Bayley outside before the match. Banks hit a frog splash to get the near fall before Bayley was going for a steel chair and Baszler took her out. Banks was locked in the Asuka lock and tapped out. This is going to get a 6 out of 10 for me. I just didn't really see the point in having this match now. I'd have much preferred to see a rematch at Payback, and we still don't know who they're defending their tag titles against. And then there wasn't much of Raw Underground this week. We just saw Bobby Lashley destroying multiple guys, including Dolph Ziggler and Cedric Alexander. Yeah, as you were. And in our main event, it was the Mysterio Family versus Rollins and Murphy. Ray and Dominic attacked Seth and his disciple while they were making their entrance on Raw. Ray was sent over the announce desk and Dominic was being beaten near the barricades. Dominic took out Murphy by sending him over the ropes while Ray took on Seth. Ray set up for the 619, but Murphy pulled him out of the way. Rollins hit a blockbuster on Ray before Murphy was tagged in. Dominic came in and hit Murphy with a huge sequence for a near fall. Ray was tagged back in and Rollins set up for the 619 but missed. Murphy took the tag and was hit the double 619 by the Mysterio Family before the mad lads known as Retribution came in and attacked Ray and Dom and sent Ray into the post before the end of the match. This is going to get a 6.25 out of 10. Was enjoying this match before it was interrupted. Retribution, they didn't attack Rollins and Murphy. Does that mean anything? We'll see. But I guess we're going to get a rematch of this Extreme Rules. I'm going to enjoy that because it was a good match up to that point. But overall, this week, Raw is going to get a 6.25 out of 10 for me. Busy show this week. A lot crammed into it. Good to see Keith Lee debut. Most of the stuff I was promised with, even if WWE didn't execute it perfectly. But I'm still quite hyped for Payback, and the Thunderdome seems decent enough. So yeah, WWE's on the up at the moment, emo. Anyway guys, that is it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Remember to follow me, link in the description below, for daily wrestling news. Let me know what you thought about Raw in the comments below. Subscribe to my other channels on screen right now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.